Welcome to the Kaizorian experience. Over here, we're going to be talking about everything African. We're going to be having debates, discussions, entertainment, as well as learning about business, art, history, and everything in between. Cultural, tribalism, and everything. We're going to be out here debating with some really interesting stuff. So, like the video, share the video, and make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Subscribe for the best experience ever. This is the biggest channel on the Afrosphere. So come and join the team, become a Kaizorian, and join the Kaizorian Empire.
Universally exists within myself, within this premise, and I exist within this bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly like the blue in the sky. I'ma fly like bird in the sky. I'ma fly like bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly like bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly like bluebird in the sky. I'ma throw my bluebird in the sky. I'ma soar like bluebird in the sky. I'ma soar like bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly like bluebird in the sky. I'ma fight like bluebird in the sky. I'ma eat like bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. I'ma be bluebird in the sky. I'ma be free, bluebird in the sky. I'ma be free like bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. Back again like the second coming. Strumming my vocal cords like the hummingbird in the sky. Y'all can't deny this. Real rap lyrics, it's like I ain't got no rhyming through the sky limit. What is skin tone, shade of color, but a parallel form of frequency like a ringtone on your phone. Melanin expression, tied up in the universe, feeling like God's. Is this really us? Is it serious? Is it really wrong to be diverse? I'm a divergent, immerse myself like an ocean beneath its waves. Be a divergent, born to be different. Indigo child, wild like canary, born to be a bluebird in the sky. Flying high like a bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly high, bluebird in the sky. Yeah, bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly high, bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. Everybody scream bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly high, bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. Yeah, bluebird in the sky. Everybody, bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bone black, sweet like a berry. Flying high, high like a canary. Scary with my hoodie on. Hating on my vibe on the street that you'll be feeling my frequency of the song. But I know that I ain't never ever gonna be ever the same. But I know.
What's good, YouTube? Breaking news just hit a few hours ago. Brother Polight, one of the most prolific men in the Black conscious community or movement, has finally been sentenced to 7 years in prison. Now, some of you might be wondering, well, what was he sentenced for? A while back, right? I believe over a year ago, he was arrested for defrauding a young girl, 14 years of age, of monkey double backflips, right? That is statutory rape in the state that he was in, etc. Right? So what that means is there've been obviously investigations that soon happened, and then also charges that were made, etc. Now, of course, the brother Polight, he is a, he's a proliferative, polygamous individual, right? He has many wives that you can find. He believes in the Black woman is God, right? And I think one of the issues why these things are so hard to detect early onwards, because I don't think this is the first case. Most likely this is the case he was caught, because the mother, the interesting thing is these men are obviously they're predators, right? But they use single mothers for this sort of thing. What they do is they find a single mother who has a child that they are interested in, and then what they do slowly and slowly is they groom the single mother into a potential husbandry, right? So meaning they create these ideas that he will marry her. Now, of course, he might marry her and he might even help her out in terms of living expenses. But what happens is he's really not interested in the mother. Most of the time, he's interested in the child. And that's what happened in this case, allegedly. But this is more than alleged. He has been sentenced to prison, right, for 7 years with a 10-year probation once he comes out. Anyway, so without further ado, let's go watch a video of of the specifics of this case, and then we'll see if we can analyze it right over there. But we're gonna go look backwards and see that the whole Black conscious community, which Brother Seti usually holds debates, has a lot of these weirdos. This is very, very prolific in
Had
our
his court
communities.
day today in court, and the judge actually just read the verdict. And let me tell you, it's pretty shocking. I'm going to play the video from court, and I'll be back with my commentary.
And then we will go into the details on the contract. Go ahead.
Your Honor, the plea agreement includes an adjudication, 7 years of state prison, followed by 10 years of reporting probation. As a condition of probation, the defendant will.
Would you say 10 years probation?
10 years reporting probation. Okay. The defendant will complete the MDSO program. The defendant will not be allowed to have unsupervised contact with children.
Yep. The brother pleaded guilty, and the thing is, I think he was worried that he was going to get far more, right? And that's the thing. He was worried he's going to get far more, so he did plead guilty to actually. I'll mod you. When later on, I promise. Yeah. So the brother got 7 whole years right now, right? 7 whole years is not a joke. For what he did, right? The issue is whether it's consensual or not doesn't matter. The point is he broke the law and he got caught breaking the law because, hey, listen, if you do monkey double backflips on a child, according to the state law, that is illegal, and that's what he did. But the thing is, right? Did you guys think that this was by accident? No, his professor, right? The guy who taught him into the Black conscious movement, Dr. Malachi Z. York. Same thing happened, right? He is in prison for the same stuff, right? Let me just reach out. Malachi Z. York. This guy is also in prison for the same stuff that he's in for, right? Well, actually, worse stuff, right? I'm gonna go around them and put it right. Dwight D. York. This is a guy who brought Polight in. So shout out to him. But what I'm saying is patterns that are repeating itself because this is a bunch of weirdos, right? Yeah, here it is. I've shared my screen there. Shout out to you guys so you can see. This is a guy who was basically his mentor that brought him into the Black conscious movement. As you can see there, Dwight D. York, right? He renamed it, or Malachi Z. York, right? Or Isa al-Hadi al-Mahdi, right? He's basically calling himself Jesus, right? Or the Messiah, which is crazy. But anyways, let's go ahead and look at this down, right? American, okay, Isa al-Hadi al-Mahdi, right? Is an American criminal Black supremacist, pedophile, convicted child molester, musician, and writer, best known for founding leader of several Black Muslim groups in New York. Most notably, the Nubian Nation, right? And that Nubian Nation, Brother Polight is so heavily into this. All I'm saying is all these groups are groups of weirdos who are out here to abuse children in the hospices of helping single mothers, right? The whole Black woman is God. All of that is a ploy for a bunch of molesters. And again, I'm not just spreading lies on their name. This is their leader. This is one of the guy who was organization, Nubian Nation. Brother Polight, also another member of Nubian Nation, has also been convicted of similar things. Not quite as bad as this guy. This guy is a lot more prolific. But the point is, you can clearly see that there is a pattern here, right? There's a pattern of madness over here. Rashinti says he thought he was a messiah. Shakes my head. Yep. You have a lot of Nubians here in London. That's crazy, but this is the leader, right? All this stuff. This is the weirdos out here. James Corvus says they had their mother say something after the conviction, and it was crazy. She was telling the truth. Okay. If you had a link to that, that would be great, actually, about the mother. Now let's go ahead, right? York began several Black Muslim groups in the late 1960s. In 1967, he was preaching to the Ansaru Allah, right? African Americans in Brooklyn. Now let me go down to his conviction, right? Because I want to go, look at all his life and everything, right? That's too complicated. Let me put in child molestation, right? Such. That's the part where we actually care about, right? Okay, arrests and convictions. Of child molestation 2002 till present, beginning in Brooklyn, New York, had established strict sexual practice within the community, reserving for himself sexual access to many women and girls, including wives and children of followers. This is literally the same thing that Polight was using. He's finding single mothers. He's promising them wifery, right? He's already got several wives at the moment. Now, he was grooming this woman, right? Bringing her into his household as a new wife. And what happened, of course, he noticed, hey, she has a child, a 14-year-old girl that he was interested in. This is the MO of this organization, which, again, Polight is part of, right? including wives and children of followers. Theodore Gabriel wrote about these practices. While extolling the virtues and importance of family life and conjugal relationships, right? That's what they say, right? They pretend that this is about wifing up black women. He, York, denies such relationship to his followers except at strict controlled intervals. He urged his female followers to pattern themselves on the Islamic paradigms of the wife and the mother, apparently desired the creation of stable family unit. Of the wife and the mother. But in reality, the husband and the wives are segregated in dormitory, separated also from their children. Why are they separating the children? York permits spouses to work only once every 3 months. They are permitted to meet in the green room prior to appointment. Right? This is how all this stuff happened. This is how all this stuff started coming out. When York was finally indicted, state prosecutors literally had to cut back the number of counts listed from well beyond 1,000 to slightly more than 200 because they feared a jury simply wouldn't believe the magnitude of York's evil. Right? It's believed to be the nation's largest child molestation prosecution ever directed at a single person in terms of the number of victims and number of alleged criminal acts. Right? Literally, they had to cut down from thousands of different charges to just 200 because they actually believe that the jury will be like, no, this is clearly falsified. Right. Point is, this is the guy who brought in Polight into these movements. So clearly there is there is a lot of debauchery happening in these communities, black conscious communities. James Cole says they had, yep, exactly.
Specific terms regarding where he may work and the ability to wear a uniform. There are additional terms of restitution, of which 5,000 has been agreed to be paid upfront within 24 hours, mailed to the to the victim.
$5,000? No offense, right? Like, if I was a victim, I would have rather gotten like, this guy's a millionaire, right? I would have rather got like 200K, right? And then, resolve it in different means. $5,000 is all the victim is getting? Are you insane? Like, if I was a mother, right, I would rather get 200K, man. This guy's a millionaire, right? Like, this is insane. Maybe Polight didn't want to pay the money. That's how this case got to where it was on a federal level, right? I believe that must be the case because $5,000 is insane. How are you only restituting the victim $5,000, man?
And additional restitution to be paid out on a monthly basis once he is out of custody. And that monthly amount is highlighted in the written terms of the plea agreement. Additionally, there will be a stay away order from victim TS and her mother, which is also mentioned in the plea agreement.
What is the total amount of the restitution?
The total amount of restitution is $25,000.
Okay. All right.
Your Honor, is the defendant's counsel going to be providing probation as a proof of the 5,000?
Wait. Is Polight rich or not? Because I'm hearing total amount of restitution is only $25,000. I thought this guy is a millionaire, right? I've seen that he owns houses in is it Hollywood? No, what do you guys call it? Beverly Hills. He has businesses all over the place. He can clearly this looks like a case where he couldn't afford to pay the family the right restitution. So this case went far forward than he probably would have preferred. So it looks like this guy has been defrauding people. And the thing is with Brother Polight, there was so many stuff coming out, right? He was doing businesses, not paying people. There was just so much wrong, right? But I'm going to go and share a video later on as well about some of the exploits with the other groups, the Hebrew Israelites, right? GMS specifically group as well. It's just a bunch of black pedophiles.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. All right. Okay, so Mr. Nowak, the terms of the plea agreement are as what the prosecutor just stated, that you are going to be entering a plea of guilty to the 2 counts of aggravated child abuse and 1 count of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. You will be adjudicated guilty.
Yeah, I think that 1 count of contributed to delinquency of a minor, I believe, is like getting her drunk in a hotel, stuff like that, right? I mean, this guy was crazy, man. You don't take children to hotels and then get them drunk, and then you try to do monkey double backflips, and they say they don't want to, and then you try to insist. There's so much wrong there, right? Forget the legal wrong of just don't do it, right? But that's how you get several counts. You get all these counts because guess what? You're going around doing all these crazy stuff, and you're putting yourself in that situation. Brother Polight has ruined his life because he could not keep his snake in his pants.
Which is a criminal conviction on your record. Do you also understand, sir, that by entering into this plea that it may subject you to involuntary civil commitment proceedings set forth in Florida statutes 394.910 through 394.931? Do you understand everything that I've said thus far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to also advise you, sir, that you are going to be sentenced to 7 years in state prison, to be followed by 10 years of reporting probation. In addition to any of these special conditions of probation, you will also participate in and successfully.
But you know, right? The thing is, Polight has been in prison before, right? When he was a young man, he was into a lot of robbery groups and, you know, stuff like that, right? So he has been in prison before when he, you know, used to be a gang member. His first wife waited for him until he came out, and then he said he cleaned his life. Now, he cleaned his life from that obvious more gang banging, but he didn't clean his life because what he did now was seeking single mothers so that he could abuse them. And that, unfortunately, yeah. The mother and daughter had a fight, and Polight took the daughter downstairs to talk to her and get food. Oh my!
Complete a mentally disordered sex offender treatment program. That you are also not eligible. Okay, you may, according to the state, you may be eligible for early termination if all of the conditions of your probation have been completed, that you have had no violations of your probation, and that you have not been arrested for any other criminal offense. Is that correct, State?
And to clarify, the terms stated in 5 is there is no prohibition on early termination. However, there is a requirement that any modification to this agreement be agreed by the state and the court.
Okay.
Yep. Look at that. Yeah. No, he's not mentally ill, Zabe. So basically, if you look at, there's something called the DSM-5, or rather DSM, Diagnostical Statistical Manual for Mental Disorders, right? The fact that he had a monkey double backflips with a child, aka sex, is actually a count under mental disorder, which basically of pedophilia, right? Or a type of pedophilia. In this case, hebephilia, right? Hebephilia is counted there as a type. Now, the thing with hebephilia is, if you look at the mental disorder, is this, right? Pedophile is not necessarily mentally ill unless he does things which gets his life ruined, aka graping someone and then getting caught by the government. So according to the Diagnostical Statistical Manual, he is mentally ill because his sexual exploit with children got him caught and ruined his life. So that's how it works, right? It's like I'm just paraphrasing here, right? But basically, if your weird behavior gets you caught and ruins your life, then you're mentally ill, right? If he didn't get caught and, you know, his weird behavior didn't ruin his life, then he wouldn't necessarily be mentally ill. It's a whole kind of cascade. Again, guys, this is just for educational purposes. I'm not a trained psychiatrist or a reader of the DSM-5. I'm just giving my opinion about it. So don't come for me later on over there. But yes, that's what he got caught for. When he gets out of it, the lock will be reintroduced to the new and improved Mother for Life. You're bad, DiCaprio. And also shout out to you, DiCaprio. I definitely saw the $5 the other day that you sent down on the stream that I wasn't actually there. So shout out to you. You are the sponsor of this show. So I'll shout out to you in a minute. So thank you very much, brother. Kaizo, your brother he's not my brother. I was never part of the Black conscious community. This is Alexis's brother, right? Alexis, you gotta pay the child tax. You gotta pay child support for Brother Polight to get him out of this situation. Send me a hefty $5,000 super chat for all those young girls that he hurt. Because this is not the first time. Do you not think he's been doing this to his own kids? Probably. Again, I don't know, guys. Brother Polight, do not sue me for ruining your good name. Well, your name is no longer good, but don't sue me. But it is possible that he's been doing this prolifically. Do you think that is the first count? Of course not. The guy literally targets single mothers that introduces them to his harem. Shout out to him, right? He thought he would get away with it. Well, the thing is, right? They're not smart, right? They say don't shit where you eat, right? The guy didn't go to a different town. Again, guys, we're not teaching anyone here how to do bad things, right? I'm just saying there's logic to everything in life, right? He didn't go to a different town, do it to people he didn't know. No, the guy was doing it to single mothers that he was grooming to bring into this harem. The same thing that Dr. Malachi Z. York, right, used to do. The guy who brought him into all this stuff, right? And Malachi Z. York, we just read earlier on Wikipedia, The guy was being charged with 200 counts of child sexual defraudation, and apparently it was up to thousands. But the prosecutor thought, no, the jury cannot believe someone can be this evil, right? So that's why they reduced it to 200. So he learned from the best, and unfortunately, that's the situation that happened over there. So Jem Jewel says, so the ones with no self-control. Hey, listen, it's always these guys. The black woman is God. The black woman is God. It's always the same kinds of people that do this kinds of stuff. But yeah, I'll be opening up the lines in like 5 minutes if anyone else wants to kind of add in here. But when I got introduced to the Black conscious community when I was in university, my first degree when I was studying medicine. And I thought they were interesting. I thought Brother Polight was intelligent, but I always knew something was off. First, everyone's accusing him of defrauding them, not paying, not delivering services that he offered. He was doing some weird sexual practices in the New Orleans community. Then it came out that he's now, debating the GMS, right? Hebrew Israelites on whether it's okay to have monkey double backflips on children at the age of 12. And, he was so prolific. It was like, no, it's wrong. Yet that's exactly what he was doing. Saneda told a story that sounds similar back in the day. Oh shoot. Yep. But then Saneda, why did he still continue to associate himself with him? Right? That's where Saneda has got to take the L for it, right? Mobutu says, I'm confused if he's not your brother. Oh, right. His name is Brother Polight. He's not my actual brother. Come on, man. Yeah. Polight. Exactly, JT. Right? Can you imagine he's only paying $25,000 total for restitution towards the minor? Meaning, if he had the money, if he had 100K, he could have paid off, and this case would have never gone anywhere. But it looks like the guy is broke. The guy's a brokey, right? Pretending he's a millionaire with a house in Beverly Hills. No, this guy, what he was doing is he was managing money off what do you call those guys? Basketball players, people like that guy. I forgot his name, right? Meta World Peace or something. So by managing their money, he was actually purchasing agreements for them, and then he's making it seem like that those are his houses, right? Don't this kind of stuff happen in Africa? This Black Americans got to take an L, that means Black American take the L. But yeah, let's play the video.
All right, sir. Now, with respect to this plea agreement, I have on each page next to defendant's initials MN. Did you in fact affix those initials to each page?
I did.
And have you reviewed each and every component of this plea agreement going through page 1 and through page 4?
I have.
Now it says on page 4, having read the above mentioned terms of this plea agreement and having been advised by my counsel, David Terrace, I, Michael Noak, freely and voluntarily enter into this plea agreement and agree to abide by all terms and conditions of this plea agreement, and agree that failure to comply with any terms or conditions within this agreement constitutes a violation of probation and subjects me to be sentenced to the statutory maximum penalties provided by law for the crimes for which I am now pleading guilty. And then it has a signature over the name Michael Noak. Is that in fact your signature, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I am now going to place my signature on this plea agreement, in that I am now going to be ratifying this plea agreement as negotiated between the state of...
No. Zabe. This okay. Marrying a minor and defrauding minors are two separate issues. One is a legal offense. The other one is just a cultural, uncivilized behavior. Right? You can't compare someone marrying a 14-year-old with someone going around scamming single mothers so that they can grape their 14-year-olds. Right? Not the same thing. Very different cultural issues. With the African situation is culture, because they're backwards, right? Not the same thing. Those people, unless they're like 50-year-old men, those people are not necessarily rapists or pedophiles or something like that. Very separate issue. It's a cultural problem. But yeah, shout out to you, bro, for being. Is anyone still interested in Polight Cargo's container of love? No. I don't know what kind of demonic stuff is inside those cargos. So no, thank you. Who's next? No. I don't think Seti's next. Seti's a light-skinned guy who just wants to be accepted in the Black conscious community. I don't think he's that weird, right? The guy is a general, man. I don't think he'll be caught for this stuff. He'll be caught for other stuff, but I doubt it. Seti was never really into that whole hotepism to the same level. His is more intellectual. Polight was a weird one. I saw him give like a woman an orgasm before without even touching her. Polight is a weird one.
Florida and your attorney. Has anybody, including your...
So there you have it. Brother Polight sentenced to 7 years in prison plus 10 years a supervised release afterwards. I'm gonna dig in deeper later into this, but it's crazy. That's crazy. You guys already know, the case and all that, but I'll dig into it later. Also, you can check our website, hiphopun.com. We'll have some more updates, but stay tuned for my commentary on this later.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have the link of the mother giving the testimony. That would be great. I don't actually have that video over there, right? So, it'll be interested if one of you drop it in the chat or call in and drop it in the private chat if you're not a mod. What an og! Where did you even see that? Exactly. I hope the booty warriors. hey, man, look, YouTube giving yep. Shout out to you, Zabe. Now let's go ahead and look at the past in history, right? Because we're analyzing the origin of this man, right? Now, earlier, right, a few years ago, 2017, Brother Polight versus the GMS Israelites. Brother Polight was so against him. Why? Because GMS Israelites believe you can have monkey double backflips with 12-year-olds, right? According to the Bible and the Quran, right? And it's true. The Bible and Quran allows this, right? That's the reality. It does. So over here, Brother Polight was so against him, saying it's wrong. But guess what? He was saying it's wrong on the open. That's why he said you never listen to what people say on the outside. You listen to what they do. You watch and follow their moves, because Brother Polight was here defending children, yet he was defrauding them on the outside.
A big fish preaching to no Nineveh. Jonah. God called Jonah to go and preach to the Ninevites, right? Jonah said, nah, I ain't preaching to no Ninevites. I'm going to Spain. Right. You know what God did? He caused a big fish to come up and swallow him and take him all the way back to preach to the Ninevites.
What kind of fish was that?
Yeah, what kind of fish? Well, they say a whale, but in the Hebrew, right? In the Hebrew, it says a big fish. In the Hebrew.
So you telling me you actually believe a fish swallowed him and brought him back?
Absolutely. I believe it.
Hold on, man. You see, we know that a whale can only swallow nothing no more bigger than an orange.
But it wasn't.
Yeah, for people that don't know, this is Brother Polight over there on the screen. As you can see, he's going to defend children prolifically, but on the hospices, when he's left alone with the single mothers, he's defrauding the children.
I know. That's what I understand this. I understand this perfectly. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, what kind of entity swallowed this man whole? Hey, did he make it out alive? Did he make it out alive? So this big ass fish. What, the fish threw him up?
Exactly. It threw him up right on the beach.
Y'all believe this?
I believe it. No, I do. I'm being honest with you. But the elder called for Joe.
Do you agree that dinosaurs?
Yeah, but I don't know about no dinosaurs that stayed alive for 3 days.
Creatures under the sea. The white man thinks he got everything. He ain't got shit, man.
That's right. There's creatures on this planet that the white man haven't discovered. That's why they're always exploring. Listen.
The fish thing is, we got to get back to that.
Have you guys noticed something there already, right? Everything is about the white man. How come is the white man the only one actually going and exploring and discovering things? How come he didn't say the human being, right? Hey, this is already an L on our people, right? He is insane. GMS niggas are crazy. We got them out here too. Yeah, but they seem to be less crazy than Polight. At least they only think it's okay to grape children theoretically, right? Again, it's never okay, right? I'm just saying, right? I'm bringing an argument here, YouTube. But Polight actually went there and did it.
We gotta find another day for this fish conversation.
What we taught, which we teach now, is that when you go into the law in the ancient world, men
12-year-old girls.
Okay, here's where the conversation begins. Okay, here's where the conversation begins, right? Look, Polight defending children, yet on the auspices of his own bed when no one can watch, he's out here defrauding them.
Wait a minute.
The Lord was with me up until the point. Just making sure. They said that you said it was okay to rape 12-year-old girls. I don't know if that's true.
Brought down.
Okay, good. That's what I want.
Slander.
That's what I'm saying. I want to know. I didn't put that on you. I didn't put it on you.
So you know what I taught? What we taught, which we teach now, is that when you go into the law in the ancient world, men, if they saw a woman that they like, they can grab the woman up and rape the woman, man. and we're gonna read the scriptures. All right?
No, somebody tried to say that
That's what I'm trying to say, guys. This whole black conscious community is full of weirdos, losers, and grapists. Why do you think these men are polygamists? They're probably having kids with multiple women, probably, right? No. Some of them are actually doing this because they've been convicted of doing exactly that, right? So some of them are having kids with multiple women so that they can create children so that they can do monkey double backflips on them. That is the reality over here. This is another prolific group over here, GMS, right? The Great Milestone Hebrews or something.
I have no problem with that.
Years old.
The Lord has no problem with that.
No, but that's not good love.
Well, let me say this. No, let me say this.
The Lord didn't have a problem with men raping a 12-year-old or any woman that they saw on sight.
Polight was just so excited that other people believe the same doctrine that he believes. That's why he's asking this question clearly, right? That's exactly what he got convicted of, right? 14-year-olds, same difference, right? Child, a minor.
The Lord didn't have a problem with it.
Why you David B? Okay.
But you know what you're thinking? See, you were brought up in this man's food system, so that's how you think. That's how you think. But back in the ancient world, if you saw, we're talking about, grab a woman, man.
And God had no problem with this.
Of course not. Let me tell you something, man.
You see, this is where Polight was learning, right? And God has got no problem with that. And the brother there is like, of course not. Of course not. Right? This whole group of conscious black community, hoteps, is just grapists. And you know what they do is this, right? Because they say the black woman is God, it entails the black woman to feel protected, yet the black woman is just used, especially single mothers, right? That's who they target. Single mothers with children so that they can defraud the children, right? This is their MO, right? There's no way the black woman is a God. No, the black woman is my footstool, right? She is not a God. Why? Because I have to protect her, right? That is it. Simple as that. I'm the God. She is not a God, right? That's the reality. You should not be trusting these weirdos out here.
I mean, I don't want to speak like this around a woman, you know. But I'm gonna say this. But I'm gonna say this, man. Let me say this. Let me say this, bro. Let me say this.
I'm listening.
Most women dream about that.
Yeah, it's true.
This is a mentality, right? Who cares if one study said something? You see, they're going to equate some dreams into reality, and this is how they get caught. They think, okay, just because someone dreams of something, right? I've dreamt about being in Kibera. Does that mean I want to be really in Kibera, living there? Of course not. Of course not, right? Your dreams and reality are two separate things. But these men are going to justify those dreams, and they're going to act on other people's dreams, right?
All right, most women fantasize about that, man.
Can I tell you something?
All right, hey man, my Ephraimite woman, when we used to do our thing, she used to say, well, go in the room and put clothes on, put a mask on, and bust in the door and rape my ass.
So apparently his wife used to tell him put on a black mask, right? Because maybe he's too light skinned, right? She want to fantasize a real nigga, right? Put on a mask, come into the room, break down the doors, and do monkey double backflips to me without me really knowing if it's you, right? So this is where these things happen. Then of course he's gonna think, if my wife wants it, maybe my children want it too, right? That's how these people start to have their mental delusions. Shut up. We have to educate people. Do not be part of this houseofconsciousness.com, right? This Sanada TV, this stuff is a bunch of degenerates that are out here to abuse children. As we already seen, most of their leaders are somewhere in prison or sitting somewhere far away, right? Even the Nation of Islam leader, what was his name, right? I forgot his name. Nation of Islam. That guy was defrauding children. The guy was having children with children. The guy was having monkey double backflips with 12-year-olds as well. All of them. All their leaders, as far as we've seen, are a bunch of weirdos that love to defraud children, man. That is a reality, man. When the black man doesn't have enough money to secure his own security, he goes out there and does it to the children.
Okay? And when you do that with a woman, most of the women don't report that shit.
No, but listen.
They out there, brother. They out there, brother.
Let's not get lost. 12.
Women like
no, bro.
You to go rape people, man.
We're not telling. It's not all right. In this society, it's not all right.
The scripture said you can do it.
But you're saying that.
But you don't do that.
You see, now they're being smart, right? They're saying in this society, you don't do it. Why? Because they know it's illegal. But it doesn't mean they're not doing it. It just means that they have to be smart how they say stuff, right? Over there in the open. They understand they're probably being advised by a $2 Hebrew lawyer. Hey, listen, You can say it theoretically, but in the society you can't promote it because they know it's illegal to promote grape of anyone, right? That is against the law. So shout out to them for being a little bit high IQ over here and hiding their criminal activities. Polight was taking note, right? Polight was learning. Polight was like, I'm not the only one over here. My master, Malachi Z. York, was also the same, right? In prison for 200 counts of child sexual defraudation.
Scriptures say you
against the Lord.
But you know what? The scriptures also
When
say
they
you
don't
kill
allow us to do as the Lord would have permitted.
Well, it's true. Yes, that's true.
And as far now, I'm talking in terms of raping a woman on sight if I wanted to.
First of all, the woman that
Nope. You don't do it, guys, right? Who cares if some dusty Bible, some dusty Quran says any of this stuff, right? The reality is you don't do it. You leave children alone. Let them grow up, right? Let them do what they want to do to themselves, right? Don't go there, right? That's a rule number one of anything, right? Just leave them alone.
Go to the scripture. Go to the scripture.
Yeah, the scripture answer it better.
That's scripture.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 22 and 25.
Let the scriptures talk.
But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her, I'm sorry, verse 28. My bad. Verse 28. Yeah.
Come on, don't be putting words in the Bible.
Yeah, verse 28.
Yeah, relax.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed.
The word virgin, by the way, is a Hebrew word. Let me see if I remember. Bathwala. All right. Now, the prophecy of Mary, a virgin.
Have you noticed, right? These light-skinned niggas here look like Nagmesia. Same skin tone, same Native American admixtures. It's always the light-skinned guys. Polight is just he's just an exception, right? Because obviously dark-skinned niggas don't get women like that, right? So it's the light-skinned guys with a Native American admixture here and there who usually are the most prolific at this stuff, right? These are Nagmesia's people, literally.
Shall conceive. The word there, virgin, is ayalama, which means young woman of marriageable age.
Gotcha.
Virgin in here means bathwala, virgin, a woman that never been, hit, so to speak.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver,
A dowry.
and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her, he may not put her away all his days.
Did you hear that, right? First, it doesn't talk about age. That's number one, right? Secondly, it doesn't talk about forcing someone, right? It says that it takes her and they be found, right? She's not committed to anybody else, meaning she's not engaged to somebody else. That is not grape, right? As far as you can understand, right? You can now project your own interpretation, but that is not grape. The problem is these weirdos will think it's grape, and that's how they justify stuff.
Now, when you go back, and you know the Hebrew,
When you sound like prostitution now.
No. He grabbed the woman in the field. The word, no.
It doesn't say grab. Here's the other stuff, right? This is how these weirdos justify things. They start to reinterpret words. They don't even understand basic Hebrew. They and then now they're saying the Bible isn't even that dusty. I've read these parts. If you rape a woman in the Bible, it actually says you are supposed to be put to death, right? And I can read that here. I'm just saying that these people, even the Bible is not that dusty, right? But these people come and misinterpret, reinterpret, and add their own additions onto the biblical meanings. It doesn't even say you can grape a woman in the Bible. It says actually the price of grape is death for the guy, right? That's the reality. Then the price of adultery is death for both people, the man and woman, right? The Bible sometimes is actually kind of consistent, but these people are going to reinterpret their own meaning into this because it's a bunch of weirdos.
He gave it to the father after the fact. The word humble, when you go into the Hebrew, the word humble is the word aina.
Yep.
When you look up the word aina, it means to force, to take by force, to arrest. So what does that word mean? Rape.
Yeah.
It means rape.
I understand.
Okay.
Now, the next question is this. Now that the Bible has made it clear that it's permissible to rape, why are we still reading?
No, it isn't. And look. I'm not really a religious person. I don't believe in Abrahamic faiths and stuff, etc. But let me go read this verse here, right? The issue is, right, in our community, we have a lack of, the average FBA has a reading level of fifth grader. So there's going to be a lot of misinterpretations and stuff. So we're going to read it together, guys, right? We're going to read King James Bible we're going to read what he actually talks about, grabbing a woman in the field and everything. We're going to use logic here, basic logic, right? Because there is over here, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Yep. Shout out to you, DiCapriano. Light skin culture. Of course it is, man. But, you know, let me find it, right? I'm going to share what the Bible actually says, right? Because these people cannot read, right? Yeah, okay, I found it, right? Deuteronomy 22, verse 25. I'm going to share my screen in a second, and we're going to read this, right? We're going to read King James Bible, right? We can even read the New King James, it's fine. Right? It really doesn't mean anything, but yeah. Look at this, right? Shout out to the Bible. And I love when, you know, rapists try to use biblical sources or Quranic sources. But yeah, shout out to me, right? Kaizo defending the Abrahamic faiths. Let's go ahead. Let's go read it, right? Deuteronomy 22, verse 25. No, I'm going to read it in English. Don't worry. I can read different versions. The English one, you guys, if you don't understand Old English. Deuteronomy 22, verse 25 to 27, New King James Bible. This is the one you guys can understand. But if a man finds a betrothed young woman, now betrothed means she is belonging to somebody else, right? AKA, if he lies with her, it is committing adultery. And according to the Bible and Quran, adultery is punishable by death, right? By stoning. So, first of all, a man finds a woman that's already betrothed. That's number one. So if he lies with her, that's adultery. It's not just fornication. That's adultery. That's a big sin. Secondly, he forces himself onto her. So he rapes her. Let's look at what the Bible says about rape and adultery. But if a man finds a betrothed young woman in the countryside and the man forces her, aka rape, and lies with her, then only the man who lay with her shall die. Look at that. You shall do nothing to the woman, to the young woman. There is in the young woman no sin deserving of death. For just as when a man rises against his neighbor and kills him, as you can see, the Bible is even against rape, but its weirdos will justify it, right? Look at that, right? But if it's here, Deuteronomy 22, verse 25, these niggas don't even have an average reading grade of a fifth grader. So that's how they get all these miscommunications. Shout out to Uncle Doale, says, Kazoran, please, lot of religious people grape innocent women all the time. Shout out to you, brother, over there. I don't think it's good to read King James. Okay, look, JT, all the versions say the same stuff, right? I've read the other versions too, so it's all the same, right? New Living Translation. But if a man meets engaged woman, that's why I already told you engaged. Betrothed means engaged, right? To you guys who don't understand Old English, right? But if a man in the countryside forces her to have sexual relations, the meaning is the same, right? Regardless of the version you read, right? It's there. It's the same stuff. There's no difference there. So shout out. So yes, according to even the Bible, it's against this stuff. Right? This is just a bunch of degenerates.
Because you know what? Because it's in the Bible. We have faith in the Bible. We have faith in the Most High. Whatever the Most High says, we gotta accept it, man. You know what? Of course. Absolutely. Once you come into the faith, you know who you remind me of, man. You remind me of Neo. Talking to you remind me of Morpheus, talking to Morpheus, and when he said this is the reality and it was a thermonuclear war, and he showed you what's gonna happen to America, what did he do? He threw up. That's what you're going through, man.
So you telling me, hold up,
movies,
you telling me if somebody was to rape your grandbaby that's 12 years old, you will be all right with that? God forbid, you will be all right with that?
In the kingdom, I couldn't do nothing about it in the kingdom. In the kingdom is
what do you mean by the kingdom? This is.
You see how crazy this is, right? And also, guys, if you do want to call in, you can. The link is there, right? They're talking about the kingdom and saying that it's okay to do it in the kingdom. Now, what this means is these men are these useless men over here, these preachers. What they want is the Jesus, the Lord, the Christ, to come back, set up a kingdom that allows them to be graping children. That's what they're praying for, literally. I'm not even misquoting them. That's exactly what they want.
Getting crazy, man. What do you mean by the kingdom?
We're looking for a king. We're looking for this white man to go down very soon and for us to come up.
So if y'all got a chance to be on your own land, like the pale Jews is trying to do,
It's not going to happen.
It's not
because
gonna
you know
happen.
what? The Israelite women are going to come freely to the men.
That's right.
That's right.
We're going to have to beat them off with
We're gonna
a
have to.
baseball bat. You know what I'm saying?
now that day obviously hasn't come yet. So what we're gonna do is talk about.
Wait a minute. Isaiah, what's it? Isaiah 4.
Look at Polight, man. Polight is getting so excited. Polight is like, yes, the kingdom, right? Because Polight is pretending to be the guy that's on the good side, right? He's pretending to be the children defender. But the reality is he's getting excited, man. The guy's like, oh, that day hasn't come yet, right? Polight is even acknowledged that it's going to come one day. Listen to what Polight says again, right? Because we're analyzing the madness of...
Now that day obviously hasn't come yet. So what we're going to do is talk about...
Yeah, look at that. That day obviously hasn't come yet. Polight is getting excited, man. He's excited after listening to his preachers that black men are going to be able to go out there and grape children when Jesus comes back and defeats the Dajjal and then sets up the kingdom for 100 years, whereby, all these black Israelites and Muslims over here can go and do and get whatever they want. Polight's getting excited. Look at his face, man. That day hasn't come yet, but he's looking forward to that day. This is the issue, right? This is the problem with some of these people in these conscious black communities. Stay away from them, right? Stick to the Orthodox Islam, stick to Orthodox Christianity, leave this new age movements created by cultists.
Wait a minute. Isaiah, what's it? Isaiah 4 and 1.
Do that, man.
Isaiah 4 and 1.
Yeah.
It was the African that raped
I gotta
Dana.
read that.
You know?
You missed the whole point. You missed the whole.
Listen, let's let the scripture speak. Isaiah 4 and 1. And in that day, to back up the elder, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying we will eat.
7 means
All this now what they're reading now is talking about there'll be polygamy in paradise. Nothing to do, men who have multiple wives. It's nothing to do with raping anyone. But that's what I'm saying. The reading age of the average FBA right now is so low that now they're justifying misreading biblical references. Oh, I've read this passage before. All it's saying is 7 women will grab hold of one man and take his name, aka polygamy. That's it. Nothing to do with grape or anything like that. In fact, the 7 women will be the ones to choose the man if you're going to say anything else, right? But they don't have reading skills.
Completion. Right.
Case in point, King Solomon had 1,000 women. He had, listen, he had 700 wives and 300 concubines.
Women
you know
of
what a
other
concubine is? A woman that you just go and do your business and
That's King Solomon. You're not King Solomon. And those women chosen because guess what? King Solomon. You're a dusty Native American black man. and you're talking about graping, forcing yourself onto women, right? Very separate situation.
keep it moving. All right?
Yeah, so this is the day that's fast approaching. And in that day 7 women, which the brother explained it, 7 women shall take hold of one man. One man.
Yes.
All right? Saying we will eat our own bread, meaning they're going to cook.
You don't gotta pay rent. You don't gotta do
Now
nothing.
you see the deep shit about this is that it caters a lot to men. What do women get out of it? Just to get raped?
There comes the brother Polight, right? What brother Polight does by listening to these groups is he now changes it and be like, the black woman is God, so that he can now control, manipulate the women into giving him access to their children. Literally exactly what happened over here, right? The mother and the child had an argument. The child came to Polight. Polight took her into his bedroom in a hotel somewhere, got her drunk, and then started trying to do monkey double backflips, right? That's how this happens. This is how these people, you have different groups of Israelites, you have the Muslims, but they're all here just to defraud women and children because they know they can't compete with the white man. They can't go build space shuttles. They can't go around building communities. All they can do is defraud children, right? That's literally what the whole MO is about. Yeah, Uncle Dwale, man, what's going on with your religious people, man? As atheists out here, we are not going around doing bad things. So why is it you guys doing these bad things? Catholic priests.
Hello, my friend. Hello, Kaizo. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Uncle Dwale. What's good, brother?
Oh my God. Kaizo. We have to differentiate between rape and adultery.
Mm-hmm.
No, rape is a rape,
Mm-hmm.
Adultery is 2 consent adults who are going to have a sex, and one of them is married. It doesn't matter whether they are Christian or a Muslim or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But rape is just a rape. Rape is a force, man. Rape is a violence. Rape, and it comes from you and me and men, and it doesn't come from a man. It doesn't come from a woman. It comes from a man. And I will tell you, 99.9% the rapists are men. That's a sickness. That's a disease. That is completely something against any religion, communism, democracy, whatever. You can't just force your sexual desire to someone else. But adultery is completely different thing, my friend. Adultery is like you are married, and you are going to have a sex with your own consent. You consent to that, to have that sex. So in Islam, in my religion, both of them are forbidden. Forget about adultery. Rape is completely forbidden in Islam world. You can't force yourself to have a sex and to rape someone. No, it's completely forbidden. And rape, most of the time, if you just look at the Islamic world, in the time our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Prophet Muhammad, there was no person, no woman, no man, no woman who were stoned. In adultery, Sharia law, well, maybe.
Wait, why do you say Sharia law? Sharia by itself means law.
The death
So why
penalty
call it
of
law?
adultery, the death penalty of adultery, when someone comes and says, I committed adultery, and there were like 4 witnesses who see the needle goes into the hole. 4 witnesses. It's the person must come there and confess it. It's not just
Wait,
like
hang on,
if I
Dwale.
commit adultery,
Hang
I'm
on,
going to
brother.
stone you.
Hang on, brother. You know, I think Islam is higher IQ than even the English common law. Sometimes the English common law puts someone in prison because of one dusty witness who's lying, but 4 people lying will put those 4 people's life in Jahannam. So I think actually Islam here, when it requires 4 witnesses, is actually high IQ. You realize that, right?
Let me tell you one thing. At the time of the Prophet Muhammad, nobody was stoned. At the time of Abu Bakr, nobody was stoned. At the time of Umar, this woman came, and she is coming every week. She is telling him, I committed an adultery. I need to be clean. And he is telling her, go back, go back. She's a pregnant woman. Put that that baby out, and she's feed that baby. And look, the thing is, in rape, we don't condone it. That is something else. That is completely different. That's a violence, man. That's a sickness. That's a crazy thing. But
let me ask you, brother,
adultery,
does Islam not allow you to have sex with children though, of 12-year-old if they've gone through puberty? You see, this is what these religious men believe.
Come on. What the fuck you talk about? I have a 6-year-old daughter. Am I going to have sex with her when she's a...
No,
Stop it, man. This is white supremacists who hates us because we are Muslims. They put that thing, man, and you Africans from Kenya, you've been told, hey, Kaisori, I'm going to ask you a brutal, honest question. You've been in Kenya, my brother. Just tell me, have you seen a 12-year Somali Muslim woman who's married to?
No,
come on,
I haven't.
No, you haven't. So it's not true. It's not.
I see them walking to school. They wear a little hijab and a school uniform.
I married when I was 31 years of age.
Wow,
and guess what? My wife was like 26 years of age, and she was a virgin. She never had a woman. This is
How old
it.
is she?
This is who.
How old was your wife?
She was
16?
20. She was 26.
And she was a virgin. Are you sure?
Yeah, she was 26 years of age, and she's a Somali woman. She never had a boyfriend. She never. And
You're sure, or
this
she
is
lied
it.
to you?
No, she did not. Come on, fuck off, man. She's from Djibouti. I know the French wrote her when she was born.
Okay, okay. I see, I see. So you don't condone sex with their children?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No religion, Judaism, Muslims, Christians, Buddhism, no one will go to
You say
condone.
Buddhism. There's a religion called Buddhism? Where?
Buddhism.
Oh, wow. So there's a religion for getting booty. Man, that's crazy.
Oh, fuck you, man. Man, you didn't learn Buddhism. Buddhism also don't like to have a sex at all. You know, forget about children. They don't even do sex. The thing is, no religions will accept to have a sex with a minor. Absolutely not.
I see, I see.
So don't blame the Christianity, don't blame the Jewish. And I know so many priests just do have sex with the young boys, but it's not a Christianity itself. It's not the Muslims itself. It's that person who's doing that shit and that evil thing. Has nothing to do with the book, nothing to do with the religion, nothing to do with the faith and worshiping God. It has nothing to do with it. You must understand, some of us, you could be a capitalist, you could be a communist, but you don't believe all of them. You could be a Muslim, but you don't believe all of them. You will be a Christian, but you don't believe all of them. It doesn't mean that it's come from your own, the book or the resources. It comes from your own personal thing. And most of the people who are being persecuted are the religion people who have a faith. I respect my Christian people who have faith in Jesus. I respect my Judaism people who have respect their book. I respect the Hinduism who respect their cows. But sometimes, my friend, the individuals are doing bad things, and those bad things cannot be interpreted to their books. No, it's completely wrong, my friend.
Okay, so can I ask you a question, brother? Some people say, you say it's white supremacists. They say that your prophet, so that he was
Aisha,
marrying.
You're going to
He
You're
married a
going to
6-year-old.
Aisha.
Is it true?
You're going to Aisha. This is a YouTube, my friend. This is a YouTube. I believe my Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace of him, and I believe he was the best person on the planet, and he is the last prophet. And whatever God gave him, whether she was 6, 7, 9, 5, I don't care. That's completely. We cannot comprehend that, my friend. I cannot comprehend that. But I have 12 years, twins, daughters, 12, and I will not let them. I will not let them to have a man. No, because
so you say you're saying that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, God, we cannot understand why God, allowed him to do certain things. But if he was here alive today,
Kaiso,
okay.
I am bound to believe that Prophet Muhammad come from Mecca to Jerusalem, and he went to heaven with that horse called Buraika, and God asked him. It's just one night. He go from Mecca, which is like 2,000 kilometers from Jerusalem now, and he went to heaven, and God asked him me to pray 5 times a day. It's my belief, it's my faith. See, I don't make Prophet Muhammad as I am or as you are. I believe him is a man, but he has some privileges. Oh, come on, man. You know what privileges? Come on. What there are not prophet privileges. What the hell is wrong with you, my friends?
Good one, man. So okay. Shout out to Prophet Muhammad
No, no,
Sallallahu
no,
Alaihi
no, no.
Wasallam.
You are not going to tell me my prophet is a pedophile or whatever like that. Because we don't know that. We don't know that, and it is a very, very scary topic. We don't like to discuss about it. We are ashamed of it, of course. But of course, yeah. I mean, I got two precious daughters. I got two precious daughters, and every book is telling me she was 6 years old, but he did not do that until she was 9 years old. But and she was Arab. It's not like a European, and her body. I don't believe all this shit. I believe he's a prophet. He's been sent by God, and whatever that he did, he was given him his own
My God.
privileges. That's
But
it.
isn't it what Brother Polight and all these people in the conscious they believe also they are the prophet. They even one of them call himself Isa. Isa al-Mahdi al-Mahdi, right? He's saying that he's a prophet. So do you not think that this is dangerous, this belief of prophetism that can allow these men to do bad things? Like if no, again, this is just guys, don't be angry at me, but if the prophet was here today, he'll be in prison with Brother Polight right now, would he not?
Look, Kaiser, I love you, my brother. I was in my hometown in Somalia for like 5 years ago, and I was just driving, and I saw people who are on the ground who are going to have some kind of medications, and I said, "What the hell is wrong with these people?" And they said, "There is a guy who is a new prophet, and he's giving them all these paralyzed, or these blind people, or these handicapped people." Hey, come on! You know the religious people use the religion to manipulate the poor people. We all know that.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes for money and sometimes for sex. And it is it. Religion is being used to control people, but it's not true. It's not true. When you go back down and go back to the resources, go back to the books, you know, to have a faith, to believe in God. I don't care whether you are Christian or a Muslim or a Jew. I will respect you as long as you have a faith, as long you believe that you are not the one who owns this world.
I see. So you believe interesting. Now shout out to you, Uncle Dwale. Now we know the Islamic perspective. So basically, now if God told you to marry a 6-year-old right now, would you do it? And you know it's God. Can you hear me?
But we know.
Hello?
Kaisorian, my God will not do that, man. Come on, stop
No.
it,
What
man.
if you are?
God
What if
never
he
do
chooses you? He chooses you. He says,
I am not a prophet. I am just dusty African man, just like you are. He will not choose me, man. Stop it, man. We don't have that chance, man.
No, but Dwale, you can't say your God cannot ask you this because you can't know what's inside Allah's mind, right? That's the thing. What if God chose you? We can't control God, right? God is supreme. So what if he does?
No, I will tell you. No, he does. If he does, and he just give me a revelation tonight, gonna fuck my 6-year-old boss. I will tell him, fuck off, man. You are not God. You are a bitch.
You tell God to F off? Okay,
I will tell him, fuck off. I'm a man, I am a father. I got children. How are you going to marry a 6-year-old? What the hell is wrong with you, Kaiser? Hey, Kaiser, forget this. I know you are trolling here, but have you heard? Have you listened to AFR? AFR just took your advice literally, my friend. The guy, of course, I told you, he made the Somali woman, the bricks woman on her face. And every time he was just asking his conservative white Americans. Hey, guys, do we have Somali problem here in America? And nobody understands. Say, what the hell are you talking about?
Right.
Who the Somalis are? Stop it, man.
Oh wow. Yeah,
It's
this is
really, yeah.
no,
I support him, and I want to make his channel to grow. But the first few seconds, I was like, "What the hell is wrong with you, IFR? Why you attacking Somalis?" Then I realized you gave me advice, and I said, "Okay, let the brother go and do what he likes to do."
yeah, this is interesting. No, but so that, brother, at least now we know this the Islamic perspective, about this whole situation. Did you know Brother Polight before this case?
I know him. He was pro-black, but just like him and the filthy rich people in America, like R. Kelly, like the Michael Jackson, like Epstein, of course, they are so tired of pussies, man. At the end of the day, they're gonna fuck on a small kid because all the pussies cannot handle their penises because, we know this. When you are rich, you fuck. Yeah. When you're rich,
And then
you fuck.
yeah, that's true. And the
Yeah,
richer you are,
look at Epstein. Look at Bill Clinton. Look at Donald Trump. He had 3 wives. None of them from America. All of them from East Europe. You know what? When you are so rich and you have everything, you always like to have different. Sometimes, if you are rich and you have all the pussies, you like somebody to do your anus and do something. This
it's
is
true.
nothing to do with it. Yeah, it's true. It's true. And I'm not going to respect him. Look, R. Kelly, he was peeing on women. Hey, come on. How many Kenya's men, young men, will be like just to have a pussy, just to have a girlfriend, just to enjoy life. I don't care if they're Muslim, Christian. When you're rich, you are rich and you are filthy. You're filthy.
No,
man.
you're right. You're right. Yeah, when people get rich, their desires, the deep dark desires, come out, and and they want to do more bad things. You're right. This is human nature, actually. What you're saying there.
Kaisorian, you are an African brother. Have you ever tasted kafilier?
Kafilia?
Kafilier is I don't know, but it's some food that all rich people like it, and it comes from a shark or the whale or whatever. You don't even know the name. I have never tasted it, and I don't know it, but I know in every rich person's menu there will be a kafilier because it's a rare food. So
I know caviar.
So these people, they will not go to have a sex with ordinary women like you and I. They will not they will not marry an ordinary person. They will always look for someone who is different. Why? Because they have money, and they will do it, man. And if you go to Bangladesh, Pakistan now, if you go to Bangladesh, Pakistan, you can have 9-year-old, 10-year-old girl, man, and it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It has nothing to do with their religion. It's something to do with the money. So why as a black person, I'm gonna respect that person. I'm gonna say, oh, he's facing. No, fuck off, man. You're rich. I don't care about it. You're crazy.
So James, what's good, brother? What do you think of this situation? Do you know Brother Polight? Do you know the history of the Black conscious community? What's going on here? Like, could you see this from a mile off? For me, when I heard that debate, when I shared earlier between GMS and Polight, I was just looking at Polight's eyes gleaming with hope. like, yes, yes. But yeah, go ahead, brother. What do you think of this? Is you there, James?
Yeah, what's up? Here?
Yeah. Yeah. One second. Let me fix your mic. Give me a second.
Mic? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
What, is it good now or no?
No, I fixed it. It's good.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, I knew about Polight for like a minute. Actually, it's weird. That's the way I found Son Nutter, because I was looking through videos. I was looking to see, like, I guess black atheists or whatever, and I found and then I found Polight with Amir Bashir and all that other shit. Like, yeah, man, it's like that's how I found out about him. And like, he was my favorite debater at one point, but like the bullshit after the years, all the shit on his own channel, the allegations about him and the scamming and all the fucking stories, is like, I can't like really fuck with this dude no more. And then this shit came out, and you know what's interesting? Sonetta does some weird shit, right? So he brought up a story when he was banging with Polight one time, where he was talking about, like, he messed with some underage girl, another woman's daughter, and then he was calling them like baby. He was on Baby York and everything like that, right? So when this came out and people told the Sonetta, like, what situation was you talking about? He's like, oh, I didn't really know about that situation. I was just banging. It's like, why would you do shit like that? And then something comes up like this, because what people think happened in that situation, that Polight paid off that person so it wouldn't go to court. So that one got buried.
Okay.
This one, the mother wanted him to go to jail, so she fought for that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So people are hounding Sonetta, and people defending Sonetta is like, no, he didn't know. But why would you bang about something that specific? He said that the girl was related to his wife. Like, we got this shit. We got this all recorded and everything. And this was like years ago when it was banging. And this is the bullshit. It's like, I'm cool with you. I'm not cool with you unless I get my money. And when I get my money, I'm cool with you. So nobody really gives a fuck about the victims or the problem. Everybody just want to inflate their little fucking egos and just be cool with it. And now, since the shit is out, he can't defend it no more. Now it's, fuck Polight, fuck all this shit. Me personally, I think Polight should be put under the fucking jail. I think he should be in Gen Pop and, let them do whatever they need to do with him.
But I think the plea deal that he took most likely protects him from Gen Pop, right? Because clearly, if he's going to take a deal,
right,
it's going to protect himself. I doubt he's going to be in Gen Pop. He's probably going to get one of those jails where he can close his own gate and only the guards can open it, etc. Because knowing the situation, all the haters as well against him, because he's been accused of fraud, like not delivering products that people pay for. He's been accused of this kind of stuff before. So clearly, there's a lot of people that don't like him. And guess what? A lot of gangbangers as well who used to bang with him or bang against him are in jail as well, right? Especially in that area. So, because this guy was doing it in his town, right? This is all the stuff. He wasn't going out in different states and stuff like that. The guy was just out there in his backyard committing these sorts of crime. So yeah, 100%. I think the mother, though, wouldn't the mother prefer money though, or refuse to pay? Because I'm thinking only 25,000 total for defrauding her child. I mean, that sounds a little bit low for a millionaire, right?
Yeah, that does. Well, I don't think he really got the millions that he said he does. I think one of his businesses was like renting out cars for people and shit like that. Yeah, so he was letting people lease cars and stuff like that. That's what I think like his business MO was in at least in California. But I don't know his other stuff because, like, again, he will be defrauding people. But he does have like 2 other like cases, and what I've heard that both of those charges that he has for the next case, they carry up to like 30 years for each.
Wait.
If he violates his probation, yeah. I don't know the details though, but that's what I heard.
Wait, hang on. Okay, it's different people, right? Not the same person.
No. Well, I don't know the details. I don't know whether they have to do with him, with the scams, or it has to do with the thing, yeah.
So for the sake of making sure that we we're clean and if lack of misinformation, this is our opinion. We don't have the facts yet. We're just
Right.
discussing rumors right now. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of crazy. If he's got another case pending, the guy's life is done for, man. Because clearly, the facing 30 years and plus on top of that 7, he's gonna come out unrecognizable. He's not gonna have the same flair. 7 years, he could do 7 years, right? But another 30
Yo,
years.
so here's the thing. If he violates on this particular charge, if he violates like anything, he could get 61 years. And if he's 38, he ain't coming out until he's 99. So it's basically a life in prison.
So, but let me ask you a question. For people like this, why don't they just leave America and go somewhere else then? Because that's kind of crazy.
I mean, yeah, in theory. I mean, like, I'd rather this motherfucker be in jail. But yes, in theory, yeah, I don't. If you're
Because
gonna do dumb shit like this.
I don't know why he's still in. Someone like this will stay in America and just get done. Because clearly he's got an issue. He's got a problem. Like the guy seeks single mothers out specifically so that he can play with their kids. I mean, that's what Malachi Z. York was doing. Literally, that's his mentor who brought him into this whole Nubian stuff. But what do you think this Black conscious movement people are doing this? Now it makes sense, right? Black woman is God, making them feel good about themselves, but on the hospices, they're just abusing them and their kids.
This is the same thing. Like the Hebrew Israelites kind of do the same thing. It's like you uplift the woman so you can get a harem of it. Because the thing that they use to justify it is that we had polygamy in Africa, right? But not understanding the social. See, that's the thing. Like in America, we're not raised in a polygamous society, so it's already not normalized. So already you're going to have issues. Like with certain cultures over there in Africa, especially in like West Africa, there's like a social thing that as a component of it that makes sense within that culture. Here in the United States, it does not make sense. And even back over there, a lot of people were still, monogamous. If you had multiple wives, you had money, but you could afford them. That's what it was. You ain't got no business being fucking broke and having like 5 wives. It don't make no sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, but no, to me this makes perfect sense because if you look at even the way that they have this polygamy in African context, you take care of all your wives, right? In that case, what they do is they create businesses, and the wives are the ones actually running the businesses, except for them. So it's almost like they're just getting free labor to run multiple businesses, and in this case, scams as well. And then obviously they're defrauding their daughters, right? The daughters that came in the relationship from a previous relationship. So it's a whole scam network. And if you notice what happened with Malachi Z. York, he used to prevent the women from having sex for 3 months as well.
Right.
So that now also that they can have this electrifying orgasm or something when they finally had it with their husbands or something. Yeah, they were doing some crazy, weird, cultic stuff. But ultimately, I
Yeah,
can
you heard
say
about the Pink Panther with the penis in it?
No. What happened?
No. So allegedly there was a doll that was the paint in his little whatever, fuck room or whatever. There was like a Pink Panther doll that they keep pointing to that had a penis on it, and that he would teach the kids on how to. Yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah, that was brought up in the case. It's
That's crazy.
yeah, it's sick. And they swear, and his followers still swear up and down that he got set up and all this other shit. Like, dude is just a fucking sexual demon. I don't, and that's the thing I ain't get. Like, even with the whole Muhammad thing, it's like it's easy for us to say that this shit ain't happened, is because we thousands of years after the fact. If you knew Muhammad, if you knew Jesus, it's like, yeah, this dude ain't it.
Yeah,
We just following tradition. We just following our parents. This is what it is. Until people, actually start thinking for themselves, then yeah. But this is just and that's the thing. Like, people blame the mother. The mother does have some culpability, but then again, you got to understand she trusted him, and at least according to her, she said this was the first time that Polight was alone with her daughter. It was the first time, and it wasn't. And people saying that they went to a club. There was no club. The daughter and the mother got into a fight, and the daughter Polight went to go get food and took the daughter so he could have a talk with her, and that's when he did the bullshit that he did. So yeah, so this is the messed up shit. I mean, like, yo, I did rock with Polight's information. Well, not his information, because he was still all pseudo and all kind of dumb bullshit. But it sounded good though. He had what they said the Brooklyn Magic. It sounded good. It was bullshit,
but
it sounded good. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So,
No, I think shout out to we got some I believe it's some Somali or something. Isse, Shirer, West African holding. Well, no, they're not West African. That's Black Americans, man. You got to get it right, man. Black Americans are a different breed, man. So shout out to you.
we different, but with the descendant from West Africa. Yeah.
Yeah,
but these niggas think they're ancient Egyptians and all kind of shit, and they ancient Ethiopians. So whatever. African American think that he everything. He think he a samurai. He think that he ancient Chinese. He think he the original everything.
Yeah, no,
he the original Native American. Yep.
So let me ask you a question. What made you not get caught up into that conscious Black movement? I was there for like 2 years when I was in uni. I was learning different ideas, but then I was like, I see a bunch of weirdos, and clearly you could see that, you know, they're doing some crazy shit, talking about crazy stuff. And then Sanetta was allowing all of it on his platform. So you're kind of thinking, I get it, right? Look, I allow debauchery on my platform, but not to that level, right? I got some strict rules. Okay, no one's gonna be talking about wanting, you know, there's certain rules that I wouldn't break past. But Sanetta just allows everything, and a bunch of weirdos, many of the leaders, right? So,
right.
I know you guys, everybody got set up, but nah, I believe the Muslim leader was. Is it Muhammad? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so for me, I specifically went to because like this right now is purely entertainment. This is entertainment. And you know what? And I think it always was entertainment for me, because the people I really align with, and people like, you know, Angelism, Trinidadian brother that talk about, like, you know, like what do you call it? Like anarchy and all that, but not like the stupid bullshit anarchy that white boys be talking about, like, you know, like society and everything like that. And so societies, and people like FD Signifier. Those are the people I'm more aligned with.
Oh, I see.
Because a lot, right.
Anarchism, right? That's what I align with, right? Afro-pessimism and anarchy, right?
Right. That's what I'm really into. Now, when it comes to like the Sinetta shit and all that, it was like, yo, this is entertaining. This shit is funny. These people are like characters. You know what? It's like wrestling. It's like the K-Fab shit. Everybody got this weird like ass name, like Seti, Octagon Killer. It's like wrestling. It's like The Rock. It's like Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's like all that shit. It's K-Fab shit. That's what it's like.
Yeah.
Right. It's a show. So I can't take the stuff seriously. A lot of the stuff they believe in is fucking crazy. They don't do a lot of scholarship. It's a lot of feel good shit. So when you tell somebody like, yo, we are ancient Egyptians and all that other shit, but we ain't got no goddamn evidence. And two, like, well, the ancient Egyptians are black. Cool. If that's the case, that's still not us.
Yeah.
That's the black people over there in East Africa. Like, that's not
Nilotes and the modern Kushites, who are mixed with the ancient Kushites and Nilotes, right? So that's it.
Right.
I mean, it's a different breed kind of people. But, you know, maybe Black Americans fall onto the Fulani, because Fulanis were also part of the ancient Egyptian stuff. So maybe they say, look, we got some.
Right, they have a component that come from that. And not only that, even the Hausa even got a component. But you got to understand, like, not a lot of Hausas came over here on the slave ship. Some did, but not a lot. I got Hausa DNA, but it's not a lot. It's not compared to the people that would have been on the coast. It's not like the what do you call it? It's not like the Benin people. It's not like the Yoruba people or the Igbo people or the Akan people. You know what I mean? Or the Bantu. So we don't want to be real about our history, and we got a great history. It's just that we want to claim Egypt because the white man loved Egypt.
Yeah, but that's what it is. Bro, look, I've looked at the whole Egypt thing. I'm like, okay, great. They built some pyramids, but I just can't see. I don't get it why people are obsessed with that culture. I'm like, okay, it's cool, but it's not it. Like, if I had to choose between the cultures that I thought represented the values that I have, really, and I'm thinking ancient Egypt just ain't it. Like, there's nothing special about it, right? I would rather choose so many different cultures. I'm talking about Mali. I'm talking about Ghana Empire. I'm talking about shout out to the Wangers, right? But
Wangadu, yep.
Right, but
hey, Kaisorian, let us not to forget Dr. Kaisorian, my friend. You are a Wanga. You are just 700,000 people in Kenya. Come on, let us face it. You guys,
No,
live.
listen. You Somalis are the ones who have to take the biggest L. If you guys unified the Adal, Ajuran, and all the different sultanates you had, you could have been the power of that area. Nobody, the Omanis, the Habesha could not have taken
And
it.
my
Even the Italians
friend,
running scared. But you guys never unified your kingdoms. That's the issue.
it is the future, my friend. We are going to make you all justice great again.
Brother, your IQ
We're
is
gonna make you
how
all
can you
your
not
justice great again, my friend. But you Wanga, in Kenya, you are nobody, but that's for sure.
bro?
But
One guy is
you
the
know,
only
you
kingdom
have
there.
collaborated with the British Empire to sell your Kukuyos families, and it's
No,
true,
those
man. We
Kikuyus are
know that.
dusty, man.
But we will come one day. This will stop it. Somali Wayne will come, and we gonna make East Africa great again. We make Africa great again. That's it.
Now look at this, right? This is the Wanga kingdom there. Shut up. Look, the history wise, and look at it, right? Wanga consisting of the Wanga
Wanga
has reached covered
Kingdom.
in 2016. There's 700,000 people.
Kaiser.
Look at this. The
Kaiser.
origin, very. It's not origin. Okay, this is. Don't believe this bullshit.
Kaiser.
Early history of the Wanga kingdom is
I'm a
unclear. With
Somali.
various
I'm a Somali man. I know what Wanga means, my friend. I'm not.
one
I'm not
tradition.
only Somali man. I am a
You see
Isaac
that we
Somali
came from
man.
ancient Egypt. Look at that, right?
Hey.
One tradition holds that they're the descendant of the ancient Egyptians. The ancestors are said to have migrated from Egypt to Ethiopia, where they're under leadership of Simbi and whatever, before moving to help from the Buganda kingdom. Actually, this is true. The Wanga kingdom, where they were ruled by Kabaka of Buganda for many generations. And then our king, what was his name? He was a dusty, half Wanga, half Oromo. He was a bit gay. Mwanga II. He brought us into Kenya. That is how we were, and we became the ultimate kingdom over there in Kenya, right? Yes. Wanga is ancient Egyptians, bro. So we Wangas. Then what happened is we married the Bantu women, right? It was mostly Nilotic men who married into the Bantu women and then created the culture over there. So we are the superior ones. These Kikuyus, these Dusties. We even had clothes, culture. We worked over there with the Arabs to enslave these dusty Africans. This is it says here, look, right. The Bongo Mumia, whatever, rule alliance with Arab Swahili slave traders to go and conquer all these dusty Africans. Right. So shout out to Wangas, man. Nothing. One thing about Kaiser is going to promote Wanga. Hey, listen, you could call us Langab, but the reality is we are the superior tribe in Kenya. These other ones got cucked. 100%. Kikuyus don't even have their land. They're still fighting for it. Do you think a white man took a single drop of Wanga land? No. Zero. Right? And James, when people say, oh, Kaiser, you guys got cut by the Europeans and this, no, we didn't. That's the thing, right? It's like, no, my tribe, or rather, one tribe of mine got cooked, actually, the Kisis. Shout out to them. They thought they could fight against a white man, and they lost like 600,000 people. They lost all their cattle and everything like that, man. See, that's how you don't, fight back. Wangas, we became collaborators, and that's why we kept everything, right? The Kabaka. Wait. JT says, the Kabaka, no. It was consensual, okay? Yes, he was a little bit gay, but he was consensual. He was not doing it. He was not forcing it on anybody. So shout out to him, man. The Kikuyu land is like, actually, Wanga land is very fertile, Mrs. H. That's where the sugar comes from. Yes. Wanga is very fertile. I don't know if you've been to Western Kenya, but it's as fertile as Uganda, and clearly Uganda is the most fertile in that region. You know about this, right, James?
Yeah, I've seen Uganda. That's a beautiful country. I mean, like, they had their shit together. Yeah, they could really pump out some shit.
Exactly. Mr. Say, it's the reason why the Europeans didn't take Wanga land. It's not because it's not fertile. Wanga land is right next to Uganda. It's the most fertile land in that area. The difference is we formulated deals with the British, and we became a protector for them, right? We actually helped them. The Kikuyu land was taken because they didn't collaborate in any kind of meaningful way. That's it. Wanga land is not.
Someone had like an interesting theory of like why like you have like all kind of destabilization in like places like Congo and everything like that. It's because like when you see China and everything, China did have a certain like industry that they were good at, but they invested into different things because they knew certain shit was going to run out, right? It's the same thing that like Saudi Arabia and all them stuff are like doing right now. They know that the oil is going to run out soon. So they're investing into other like sectors, especially technology. They expanded into like entertainment technology. They also expanded into like medical and like architectural and stuff like that. So when the oil runs out, they still have businesses and like skills that they can sell around the world, and they're becoming the top of the top within the world in that particular skill. What certain African nations didn't do, especially in the Congo, is that they relied heavily on the slave trade. So they thought that Europeans were always going to need slaves. So they didn't expand their skill set, they didn't expand their economy into anything else. So that when it stopped, they basically started warring with each other. This is the thing. So like, I guess that's what Kagame is trying to do now. He's trying to expand into different sectors.
So let me give context of Kagame, right? Kagame, okay. So I'll give you some history on East Africa. Kagame is from a tribe, a very powerful tribe called as the Watutsi tribe, from Uganda, obviously Rwanda and Burundi, right? That's what they're also in Kenya, but Kenya government refused to accept them as a tribe. We know why, right? Kikuyus don't want other tribes to compete against them. Now, here's the thing, right? Wanga, Tutsi, and Abaganda, they're all part of the same kingdom, right? It's called Bunyore Kitara Kingdom. So what happened is they were sharing power. The Bugandas were obviously the strongest one. Wangas we weren't as strong, but so that's why we moved to Kenya, right? And the Tutsis tried to take power over Uganda, but they couldn't. So they went and moved into Central Africa, aka Rwanda, Burundi. So that's how they were able to find a weaker tribe known as the Hutus and the other pygmy tribe. I forgot their name, right? Who really cares? What was it? Little people tribe. I forgot the name of it in Rwanda, Burundi. What was it?
Mbuti or the Baka or the Twa? Okay.
Yeah, Twa. So that's how they're able to establish control over that region. Now the Wangas came to Kenya, and obviously they realized these dusty Kenyans are out here chasing zebras, right? They met like less superior tribes. So they took control because they're organized. They took the rulership of idea from the Uganda kingdom, and then they set up the only kingdom in Africa. All these other tribes had no kingdoms, no centralized power or anything. So I'm just answering a question of the brother asked Lexi. How did they help the British? I'll tell you this, right? During the colonial period, other tribes in Kenya, such as Kikuyu people, the Kamba,
Kaiso, can you hear me? Kaiso, my brother, can you just hear me? Can I interrupt?
Yes, go ahead.
This is a Dusty channel, and I have the right to interrupt all the time. Look, you know, the Egyptians always look at the Horn of Africa, let us say just Somalia now, as a holy land, and that's why they pray to them, because that's where they come from. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Kaiso?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes, hello. I think your dusty German internet corrupted. Yeah, so let me just finish my point here. I'm answering the question of Lexi. How did they? Okay, so in Kenya during colonial period, there were certain tribes: the Kikuyu, the Kamba and Kikuyu are more or less the same tribe. The Kalenjin, this is like a Samnilo-Cushitic tribe, and the Giriama people, these are like Swahilis. And which one is it? Mekaliti? I don't know what the hell that is. Was a Kenyan independence activist. Okay, it's part of the Swahilis. All resisted the British rule. During the resistance of the rule, it did not extend a comparable influence. Yeah, I don't really care. Now, the British Alliance, now look at this, right? This is why we didn't get colonized, right? The British Alliance, so during the Kenya Scrum for Africa, the British Alliance thus led to the prominence of the Wanga. The Anglo-Wanga collaboration and trade with Swahili slavers became profound at a time when the communities of the North and Central Interior of East Africa were not affected by international trade. This is why we became powerful, because we knew who to trade with. Other Kenyan tribes did not have any direct dealings with foreigners from the coast. In most cases, many were unwilling to welcome these foreigners into the society. Right, so we worked with the Swahili slave traders, and also we worked with the British to make sure that the Wanga Kingdom maintained supremacy over there. Right, the prominence of the Wanga Kingdom led to rapid territorial political expansion by the British. Right, so we helped the British come to Kenya. So when people keep talking about Kaiser, oh, Kenya's like this, I don't care about Kenya. I'm not Kenyan. I'm Wanga. Right, you guys. That's what you guys have to understand. I am Wanga. I am not Kenyan, right? And Wanga is not Kenya. Wanga is a separate area which never got colonized. So as you can see, the prominence of the Wanga Kingdom led to rapid territorial political expansion by the British in the years 20th century in their conquest of Kenya. The British, in their later conquest of the region, found the centrally organized politically and social structures attractive and supported them in order to get allies in a position of colonial rule. So that's all I'm saying, guys. We were the only high IQ. And look at this, right? Our Prime Minister, Raila Odinga, is also Wanga. You guys claim he's Luo, but he's not. He's actually Wanga. But yes, go ahead, Duale.
Kaizo, you are just like the people from North Somalia, like me from the Isaklan. They just have an agreement with the British government and tell them, okay, you protect us and let these or dusty other clans away. That's what we do, my friend. Wangas sell the Kukuyos. My great-great-great-grandfather sell the Somalis to the British. And it's true. We just the same. And now it's like 500 years later, we are coming here to educate these dusties and tell them, hey, come on, fuck the British. Let us come back together. Let us have some. Hey, the other thing that I'm going to tell you, you know the word Egypt, and in Arabic it's called Misr. Egypt is a Somali word. If you did, Egypt. We say Egypt. Egypt means it's easy. Mas means masno.
No, Somali is not ancient Egyptian. Ancient Egyptian is Wanga. Look at this. We came from ancient Egypt.
We are. Wangas and the Somalis are just the same. I just told you before.
Okay.
We're not so different, man. It's silly around here. Hey, come on, stop it. We are not so different. What I'm saying is the word Egypt is a Somali word called Egyptai. Egyptai means it's easy for me. Misr in Arabic means masno. We were like, I don't know, like 2005, 5,000 years ago, we didn't have a rain. We go to the Nile and we have some water and we sell it. Oh, masno. This means there is a grass and there's water and our camels can live there and our cows, our sheep. So Misr and Egypt belongs to us. That's why they pray to us. In that region, into the Eastern Africa. That's why their Kaaba and their Jerusalem is. If you look at the civilizations before, these people, their Kaaba and their Jerusalem were back to East Africa, and they were back to you and me, my friend. So we had a civilization before Egypt and Misr. I don't care whether it's a Wagner or it's a Somalis, Ogaden, whatever, but it is what it is. Then
you know what?
The white man came. He gave you an agreement to sell the Kukuyos. He gave me an agreement to sell some dusty Oromos. And we played the game. Can we now come back, because we all know this, play the same game and tell the white man, fuck off, man, stop it. It's done.
Okay, go ahead, James.
Yo, here's what I don't understand. If there's a level of complex society or like a high IQ group in Africa, why are they always claiming Egyptian descent? Why isn't it that like they?
Okay, so let me.
Why isn't it that they just like? Yeah, go ahead.
Let me give the context of the Wanga, right? The Wangas did actually come from that area. So it was actually Nilotic men, right? Nilotic men that came from that area. Then they went to Ethiopia, then Uganda, then married some Bantu women. So paternally they are Nilotic and maternally they are Bantu. So what happened is, if you look at it, James, realistically speaking, in Central Africa, which is Uganda, do you really think a bunch of dusty Africans would have had the IQ to set up certain strong societies, politically organized? Think about it, right? If you compare them to the Kikuyus,
they did though.
Yeah,
the ones in the Kingdom of Congo and all that, they're all Bantu, bro.
Okay, the Congo is different, right? Those people, I don't know, man. They're just high IQ that
But what
point.
about the Shona people with Great Zimbabwe?
Oh, the Shona people, they have the same shit as Wanga. Look at them paternally. Paternally, they have some random dusty Arab DNA. I'm just saying that
No,
if
it's
you look
not.
at,
No,
if
it's
you look
mostly
at them,
E1B1A.
some of
I
them
gotta
do.
see the DNA on Shona.
Half of them have J haplogroups. So one of the issues is, right, if you look at the Shona people, they came through Wanga as well. So you know the Great Zimbabwe buildings, they're also in Wanga
Yes.
area. So all these people are the same. If you look at the ones who are successful, the dusty ones like the Kikuyus, Giriama, Kamba, these ones were, I don't know, they mixed too much with the Kushites and they were kind of low IQ, right? But the real Nilo Bantus, they're the highest IQ in East Africa.
But does Nilo really come from? I know Nilo's come from like Sudan, but
Yes.
where Nilo's really part of
Come
ancient
on,
Egypt,
stop it.
like the
No, they
ancient
were part of
Egyptians.
ancient Egypt. No, look, if you come to Kenya, right, you look at the highest IQ tribes, it's the Nilo Bantu tribes. The Nilo Cushitic tribes and the Cushitic tribes are the lower IQ tribes, like Kikuyus, Kambas, Kisis, all these other tribes are low IQ.
Somalis, blah, 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 blah. Kaiso. Stop
One
it,
second, one second,
stop
one
it,
second,
stop
Duale.
it.
In East Africa, Kaizo known as a Kabla, which is the
Because
Oromo tribe, and which is a Cushitic tribe. So Kaizo, you are a low IQ tribe then.
No, Wanga is the highest IQ tribe, bro.
Tell him, my friend. Tell him, my friend.
Okay, look.
This is an Oromo guy. Look.
And again,
Kaizo.
one second,
Oromo
one
is
second, Duale.
almost
And again,
80% of East
Suk,
African countries.
Duale, Duale, one second. Kaizo, Wanga is
I
a
am
Nilotic
Sugi,
tribe.
brother.
You guys are
I'm going to do
Ugandan.
Sug
You have
thing.
nothing to do with
Go ahead.
Bantu. Suk. Oh, wait. Duale, you're killing me right now. Wait, one second. Let me cook, Duale.
No.
Yeah?
So my whole
Kaizo
thing is that
is
I don't
born on his
understand is
father's
that
side.
why do you have to be from somewhere else
Wait.
to be smart?
Everyone in. Why is everyone butting in when I'm talking? Everyone can speak. Everyone earlier was speaking nice, no one's butting into no one. Let the man speak. So what I'm saying is Kaizo, on his dad's side, he's a Cushitic tribe. On his mum's side, he's a Nilote. He has nothing to do with Bantu. Kenya is not. It has nothing to do with Bantu. Bantu start in Tanzania and below, But Kenya is a Cushitic, Nilotic country, and Kaizo knows that for a fact, and he cannot argue that at all. Go on, Kaizo.
Look. Expansionist, man. Am I gonna claim a tribe that got enslaved by Somalis, or am I gonna claim a tribe that ruled Kenya and become the only central or organized political nation? I'm gonna have to claim the tribe that was more high IQ, man. Right? That's the reality, man. Like, so and you know me, right? I'm not African. I claim maternal side. So, yeah. But anyways, I won't comment too much on that, right? But look, expansionist. Let me ask you a question. So okay, look, here, shout out says eating food watered in a magical high IQ over there, right? So look, people like Jeanette, we've got some haters here, right? And expansion, shout out to you for coming through. Actually, are you working right now? Expansionist, are you working for the white man right now? Yeah, it most likely is actually at work, etc. The reality is this, right? I don't claim Kenya, right? I don't claim Kenya because Kenya is a Kikuyu Somali land. I only claim Wanga, right? I only claim Wanga. I don't want to be taken over by dusty Kikuyu Somali.
Stop it, Wanga man. We all know the Cushitic people, the Oromo people. You sold that Kikuyu people to the white man, and you're still selling to them. And stop it, man. Stop it. Let
Dwele,
them be free, man.
Dwele, the South African Bantus are some of the best people. They saved 300 Oromo children from slavery, from the white man. So you should be thanking those people. South African Bantus saved the Oromo children.
Come on,
300.
Bantus are Africans.
No. Bantus are not African. They came from India.
Some of them say they came from Israel, but I know Bantus are from Africans. And you and I are the origins of Africa. Look, you intermix with these people, but Stop booty crabbing. Stop what am I gonna say? Saving
But
your
you're not the
wife's life,
original
man, here
African.
in Kenya. Sorry?
Right.
No, you're not the original African. Wouldn't it be the Khoisan people? Or at least they got the oldest
Yeah,
genetics.
no.
And the
You see,
Hausa got the
James.
oldest genetics too.
Yeah. By the way, James, let me ask you a question, right? If I do more like genetic cultural videos, are you gonna come through? Because obviously,
Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
I want to do a little bit more of them, but I want to make a couple correction. Khoisans do have the oldest. No, that's not even true. Actually, right? No. That's the popular opinion. The group with the oldest haplogroup in Africa actually the Mbe tribe in Cameroon, which now they speak a Bantu language, but I think they're actually
Oh,
Pygmy tribe,
they
right?
might be
So
semi-Bantu though. That's the other
they're,
thing.
they're semi they're semi Bantus, right? They're like mixed with pygmies. So the oldest group in Africa is actually Cameroonian semi Bantus mixed with pygmies. They have
Right.
the A00 haplogroup.
A00,
And
yeah.
Nilo, Khoisans and Nilos have the A01. It's a slightly newer haplogroup. So yeah, the oldest
Right.
human being actually found, paternally speaking, actually even maternally, are found in Cameroon, which is kind of interesting. So probably that's how
But they think that came from a. But they think it came from an archaic human though.
say that again.
They think it came from an archaic human. That's what they're
Yeah.
saying.
They have
So
a lot of
yeah, so
ghost
all that,
DNA
yeah,
as well. Yeah. So yeah, the
ghost
oldest
DNA,
human.
yeah.
Yeah, oldest humans are actually from Cameroon. Now, what happened with the Bantus? Bantus actually originated from North Kenya / Ethiopia. The Omotic people, right? If you look at the DNA now, the E1B1A and E1B1C, which is from the Omotic people, is now classified under just one group, one haplogroup. So they're now being found that they have the same genetic markers. So what happened is the people from Ethiopia moved into Cameroon, mixed in with with the Pygmies, and that's how the modern Bantu got created.
Wait. So you saying all right? So you saying that the genetics of the Bantu originates in southern Ethiopia, right?
Yeah, / northern Kenya. Yeah, that area.
There's northern Kenya, and then it got transferred over, and then from there, the Bantu went and expanded from Cameroon, southern Nigeria, into the rest of Africa. That's what you said.
Exactly. Yes. But originally, Bantus actually are from North Kenya area, and
Now
they
they
still
do
there.
have genetics from that area. They do. That's true. They
Yeah,
do.
they do. Yeah, let me show you the research, but that clarified it. 1 second. Omotic. Yeah. So Omotic people from Ethiopia have E1B1C. Bantus have E1B1A, but now they've reclassified it. They realize it's the same genetic marker. So E1B1A and E1B1B is now the same. 1A and C, sorry, is the same. And C is just one haplogroup. Yeah, it's called EV38. That's the new over there. Jeanette says expansionist has his D in Kaiser's ass. Why is Kaiser always agreeing with him? Look. I don't agree with anyone, right? I'm a show runner. I think you guys have to understand that I'm look, most of the time I'm here doing social engineering to get what I want, right? You can't go around just thinking you can't go around projecting low IQ African ways on a superior IQ. Okay, look, here's what it's called. Haplogroup EV38, right? That's a new Ethiopian Bantu haplogroup. So haplogroup E138, also known as E1B1A V38, is a human Y chromosomal haplogroup. EV38 is primarily distinguished in sub-Saharan Africa. EV38 has two basal branches, EM29 and EM. What's the other one,
EM2.
right? Yeah, EM2.
EM2,
right?
which is basically E1B1A, basically.
Exactly. Now, EM2 subclade mostly found in East Africa, right? EM2 is a predominant subclade West Africa, Central, Southern, and the Great Lakes region. Now, look at this, right? Over here. Now, let me find the E1B1C so I can show you how it became one haplogroup. E1B1C. It is, right? Formerly known, look at that, right? EM21, formerly known as E1B1C and E1B1B. Right now, it's been unified into one haplogroup.
Oh, damn, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
It's all unified into one haplogroup. So basically, Omotic people in Ethiopia and Bantus are the same people from a paternal standpoint. So my argument about Bantus originating from northern Kenya, then they went into Cameroon, mixing with the Pygmies, etc., and then they came back later on. That is 100% fact based on if you follow the genetic genetic movement.
Now, here's my other thing, right? Bantu isn't really just like a genetic thing, right? So obviously you prove that there's a genetic link to there. But what I'm saying is, if you prove that there's a genetic link to there, then how do you prove that there's a genetic link to there? Because if you prove that there's a genetic link to there, then how do you prove that there's a genetic link to there? but the genetic link doesn't necessarily mean that that is a Bantu. So like when you
No,
look
of
at
course not.
Europeans, right, and then like R1B, right? R1B is like a what do you call it? Yamana culture. It's like a
Mhm.
Neolithic culture. But obviously, a lot of Europeans have that. They're not that Neolithic culture. So the Bantu culture, are you also saying that the Bantu culture also comes from southern Ethiopia? Or did it
No,
grow up in Cameroon and then it spread throughout the rest in the languages?
okay, I believe that the culture is both, right? If I show Omotic people right now in North Kenya and Ethiopia, you'll see that they still eat the same foods that the Bantu started eating, like millet, sort of like mashed up, sort of fufu like foods, etc. Very
Right.
simple, boiled kinds of. They don't have any Arabic culture influence, so that's like the original sort of Bantu culture of having boiled foods, mixing millets and other things like
Right.
sorghum, and then
But you also
pounding it.
find that over there in West Africa.
In West Africa, yes.
But
So
the
the
West
two cultures,
Africans are not necessarily Bantu. That's the
no,
other
West
thing.
Africans are not Bantu actually. No, West Africans are a mixture of Bantu and some other ghost DNA stuff that happened. Yeah, they're not exactly the same exact people, right? It's a mixture of different groups that uh, came in. Exactly, yeah.
But there is a
But yeah,
Nilotic component to them as well, especially when you look at like the West Africans more towards like the center, like the Tebu and like the people that's like in Nigeria and everything like that. You see a Nilotic component with that as well,
yes,
along with
exactly.
the what do you call it? Some Berber DNA, Sahanja Berber specifically.
Yep, exactly. But it's kind of interesting because if you look at the reality, if you look at the realities, I would say a lot of these cultures are definitely mixed. If you look at Dinka population, for example, Dinka is actually mixed with Southern Bantu, like 16%. And if you look at the Anuak population as well in Ethiopia, surprisingly they have the same E1B1A as the Bantus, but they're Nilotic. So I find that kind of interesting. They look Nilotic, but they have an E1B1A paternity for like 100% of the group.
So this is like the same thing like with the Watusi. So the Watusi look like they Cushitic or they're not Latin, but they're Bantu.
Yeah. So yeah, good point. So yeah, Watusi people, they are actually genetically they're Bantu, majority of their DNA. They do have some Cushitic, like 20%, and some Nilotic, like 20% genes. But what happened is they kept marrying. It's mostly Bantu men marrying maternal Southern Cushitic women. That's why you have that sort of distribution, because your looks do come more from your maternal side, more so than your paternal side. If you were to put them one by one, but 100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but my other question is like, why did my thing is like, all right, so is there a possibility that people could have like developed